telling me the thing broke. I know it's broke. It's broke. Man, these people crazy. It's broke. You the technician, fix it. Well, it was working before y'all started doing all that other stuff. Bitch. Yeah, you right. We put more stuff. Come on, cuz. Fix it. God dang. Yeah, you right. You right. It was working fine until y'all. What did y'all do? I don't know what we did. We working on something else. Then this breaks. Fix it. Fix the deck. We need everything to work. What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Check it out. Without a doubt, Uncle Mike is working hard as he can. I'm showing y'all. Y'all can see my McDonald's. I ain't eat my pancakes, y'all. Y'all know my Uncle Mike crazy, man. Fix the website, please. The login ain't working on the website, man. I done broke it. I break it to hear job is to fix it. Anyway, check this out, man. Hey, I had to do 3 videos, man. I went to New York. I did a video, man. Thank y'all so much. Everybody who checked out that video. Shoot. Sugar. Oh, man, oh, look at this. Somebody come look at this. Well, somebody come look at this. Look at this here. Somebody come look at this. I don't know where I'm at. And I'm on the wrong day. I gotta give Uncle Mike a second or two, man. Y'all know how I roll. Oh, Lord have mercy. They said, look at this dude. This my man? No, that ain't my man. All right. I don't even know the name of my own videos. I'm doing all this, y'all, just to give y'all the name of the video. Ain't that nothing? Check it out. Where is it at? Right here. I went to Diddy trial, and this is what they're not showing you. It's the name of the video, man. And I kept it real. I kept it as real as I can keep it, right? One of the things that tripped me out, man, I'm mad at myself. Well, I can't be every place at every time or anytime or whenever you're supposed to be there. I missed Gene Deal, man. I missed him by like maybe an hour or two, bruh. I was there the same day he was there. Yeah, that's all. That's how you tell a lie and keep the truth. Man, I was there. Dude, I went to New York. That's the truth, right? I was there the same day Gene Deal was there, baby. That's the truth. But he was leaving and he was gone for 2 hours. Then I come in. But it's the same day, though. It's the same day. But anyway, man, shout out to the Art of Dialogue. Yeah, most definitely. We're going to do a reaction to this joint right here. Oh, man, I'm looking for my glasses and they on my face. No, I'm looking for my headphones. That's what I'm looking. I'm looking for something. I know that much. There it is, baby. I can hear myself now. Y'all hit that subscribe button, baby. Hit that bell. Check out that video, man, because there's some wild stuff that they ain't showing you outside of the courtroom that's going on. People trip me. What tripped me out, man, when people think they are real reporters. So what do you think about the such and such of the Diddy trial and everything? I'm like, dude, are you serious? This how you rolling? Anyway, don't nobody roll like Uncle Mike. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Let's check it out. Yeah.
Gene Deal, happy to have you back, my man. Week 3, Diddy trial. Gotta talk about it, man. I heard you and some dude got into an altercation up there. Like, what's the backstory behind that before we get into everything else?
I wouldn't call it an altercation, you know what I'm saying?
Straight to it,
that means somebody is capable of challenging you on your level. What happened is that you get these YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, who want to make contact with you by yelling, screaming, and hollering and thinking that you gotta answer their questions. And they talking to a grown-ass man like he's some kind of child or hollering at some kind of animal. See, I come to that court because I'm trying to see this thing through. I don't care what nobody say. I'm the one who initiated this whole thing and started talking about this dude's behavior, his attitude, how he was treating people, what he was doing, way before any of his employees, way before anything. And I took all the ridicule, from everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you was watching the internet when I first got on here, they was talking about, yo, this bum ass
security guard,
ex-bodyguard. I didn't have this and I didn't have that. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. But then when the facts started coming out that I was a New York State parole officer with my college degree, had my own house, own apartment, was given another house by my family, and they started seeing that I was one of the leaders and the founders of the same gang, which Puff came out of.
Okay.
I helped, and I started slicking the family. You know what I'm saying? All these are Harlem crews, and they started seeing that the real people that was in New York City was like, yo, Gene was the man. Gene is this, you know what I'm saying? And they was wondering why I got on the internet. But I was given something to do, man. I don't care what nobody say. So I go to that court to see it through. You understand? I go to that court to make sure that I'm gonna see the people that I love who got hurt behind this dude, that we get justice.
How has Nubia changed my life? In many ways, actually.
Improved my health, improved my self-confidence, my appearance.
And I just want to.
Wait a minute, y'all, my bad. 224. See, I'm on the wrong channel, man. That's my bad, y'all. This channel right here has no interruptions, no commercials playing. We was 2 minutes in and we got a commercial already. I ain't mad at you, big baby. I ain't mad at you. Here we go.
That I'm going to see the people that I love who got hurt behind this dude, that we get justice. And I just want to be there to see it. I didn't come there for somebody to be calling me out my name, talking all that, saying things that's irate. Yo, listen here. I'm a grown ass man. I raised 3 girls to be adults. I raised somebody else's sons to be adult men. You understand what I'm saying? So that makes me grown. I've raised people to be adults. I've helped people with their kids for them to become adults.
Facts.
So I'm a grown ass man and I don't need anybody. You just can't talk to me any kind of way or say whatever you want to say. Because then when we see each other, then express yourself as a man. So here this dude hollering, saying, call all kind of epithets, saying all kind of belligerent curse words, saying all kind of shit to me. And I'm like this. I'm like, yo, I played it cool when we was outside. Then when we got into the court, it was a whole different situation. You understand? It was a whole different situation. I went to him, I said, yo, bro, you had a lot of stuff to say outside.
Whoa.
You understand? Yo, I got a lot of stuff to say now. That's what he said. I said, oh, what you got to say then? He said, yo, you got questions to answer. And for who? I said, if you want me to answer questions, do interview. I got a booking number. Then you do interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there.
And
he
I'll
said,
be there.
Well, you ain't going to tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Protect your neck.
What?
And that's all I'm going to say.
What?
I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about.
So you put your hands on him. Is that what you trying to say? I took it back to Wu-Tang. I mean, you had to, did you hit him? Did you, you don't want to incriminate yourself, I guess. But 9 times out of 10, if somebody was listening to this and all you need is one witness, because it ain't like it was just you and him in the daggone place. Somebody had to see it. But I don't think my man trying to do all that. I'm trying to think if I should say his name. I need to give him a call because I met the guy out front and everything. I'm looking for that's why you saw the screens moving all over the place. I'm looking for the video footage of what he talking about.
Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard.
Did
so
they
one
do
guard
it?
was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, because he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. And so I was leaving.
Yeah.
So he ran and got his camera. And then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown ass man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, who worked up the ladder to become who they are, yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you choose to do, you choose to do that, bro. But I'm not the one you gonna do that to and then think it's gonna be all right to get on the elevator with me. I don't care where we at. I don't care where we at, what we gotta do, we gonna get it in. And I'm too grown and too old for that. But you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. And you ain't gonna say whatever you wanna say to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna disrespect me as a man and think it's all right to do that because you got a YouTube show. Because you want to go viral, you want to do like that, you be ending up.
This the guy he talking about right here.
I want to go to the next subject, man. Let's go to the next one, bro. Because this is going to go somewhere that it shouldn't even go, bro. For real. We all too grown for this shit, bro. But I'm not to be disrespected, and I'm not going to disrespect nobody else.
I feel you.
You feel me?
I feel you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we move on, man, let me just add one more thing to this. When Miss Wallace asked me to get on Nick Bloomfield documentary, I got on Nick Bloomfield documentary. That was like in 99, somewhere around there. I got an A&E documentary, 2001. I got on VH1, MTV. All these was in the early 2000s before there was even a YouTube telling the story. You understand? I sat down with each one of those crews about anywhere from 3 to 5 hours telling them everything. Telling them everything. That's why can't nothing come up when I was talking about how what Puff said about Suge, Pac, Big, everything. I told them everything. This stuff has been on, and I've been saying the same story since 99. I've been saying the same story since 97 when Miss Wallace set me in her living room. I ain't changed nothing and I ain't gonna change nothing.
And I ain't gonna change
You understand?
something.
There's certain things that you find out as we go because you know my motto. Facts will change your feelings, but feelings can't change your facts. That's my motto, bruh. So it's over the years, I found out some more stuff and some other things for professional people. People like myself that's higher than me, FBI agents. People who've been working on the case. You find out other things and you go on with that. But all these little young YouTubers and everything like that, it's a couple of those guys who've been respectable. Now I'm gonna pull them to the side because I'm going back down there. Don't think that I'm not gonna be going down there, bro. I'm going back down there. You understand? So now, some of those YouTubers that's been respectable.
You
understand? I might like, yo, you can give me a question, bro.
Right.
I'll give you one question.
Yeah, that's me.
Because they was respectable when I come down there, they respectable. Now, people think I'm hiding. I'm not hiding, bro.
I ain't hiding, bro.
You understand? I'm not hiding from nothing. These people don't do their due diligence, bro. When they come out here and they want to do a show, they don't do their due diligence. They let anybody come on their platform that's got a salacious story about anybody and say, oh, they told me. That don't mean a god thing, bro.
Yeah.
Because somebody told you some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean nothing, bro. Do your due diligence if you want to have a successful channel.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just want to go viral, remember, you got to protect your neck.
Protect that neck, baby.
And I'm gonna give you something right now, because I don't want people to go and look at what they want to say because this dude want to go viral and stuff like that. I can beg any money. Gene Deal and Diddy never stayed at the Intercontinental in Atlanta. Never.
Never.
We stayed at the Swiss Hotel. Do you hear what I'm saying? We never stayed at the Intercontinental in Atlanta. That's how I knew the shit was bogus. We always stayed at the Swiss Hotel. You will not find a debit, a credit, or any kind of card because you got to put your card up for room for your incidentals in your rooms.
Yeah, collateral.
You will never find no card at the Intercontinental with Gene Deal name on there. None of that. Because I don't care whoever you travel with or whatever you did, they could be paying for the hotel. You always had to put a card up for your incidentals to your room. And we never stayed at the Intercontinental. So people could come up here and be bogus and tell lies and say whatever they want to say for the views.
Yeah. Also, just to bring some content to what's going on in this video right here. This lady, for some reason, I don't know why, and I'm trying to get all my head around all this. She's protecting Gene Deal. Gene, this lady is protecting you. Why? I don't know. Gene don't know her. She says she don't know Gene, but wrong is wrong. That's what she was saying. But she was wrong. She was wrong. Anyway, they arguing, and he's looking at her like, why in the hell is you saying anything? Because you don't have nothing to do with this. But this between me and Gene. We over here arguing. You don't even know Gene, and you over here arguing with me like it matters. I don't even know who the hell you are. Women, all this stuff. So yeah, so everybody got the daggone things out, and she's still talking about what went on in the courtroom and what he did to Gene Deal. So I don't know. I'm just getting there. I'm still warming up. Coach ain't even put me in yet. I'm still on the bench, baby. I don't know what to do. Hey, I don't know. This is my man right there. Uda. This little kid right here he's supposed to be holding the camera, y'all. Check this out. The little kid is holding my camera. I said I'd pay him. Maybe I didn't pay him enough. $20. I guess $20. Well, you did $20 worth of work. You probably did $10 worth of work. But I'm just giving y'all a quick Uncle Mike style rundown. And this guy right here, all of a sudden it just started getting louder and louder. But he was trying to give me a story. And I mean, we exchanged phone numbers and everything, man. You know, I'm always networking and everything. But he was giving me a story of some video footage or something he has on Gene Deal. And I think that's what Gene is talking about, saying that's why Gene keeps saying we never stayed at no so-and-so hotel. When we was there, we stayed at this hotel. Oh, but you was there though. He might got the wrong hotel, but you was there. But I still don't know what the story is. Even though if they stayed at who hotel, that don't mean Gene Deal story is right, or that don't mean this dude's story is right. So let's get on with our story. How about that? So let me, because see, he's saying, I'm trying to bring some content to what he's saying. You will never find no card at the Intercontinental with Gene Deal name on there. Right. You won't find the card with your name on it because you was working with Bad Boy. You might find Bad Boy or Puffy Records or Puffy and Brother Love Entertainment or something like that. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not saying you did it because I don't even know what the hell he's saying that you did. You feel me? I don't even know what he's saying you did. But, you know, he was trying to explain it to me. And he was showing me, hey, I got this. And this, look, that right there, that's Gene right there. And I'm like, man, they just pictures. Right now, I'm trying to film what the hell is going on here. I ain't trying to figure out no pictures and who that could be Photoshop, man. You know how this Photoshops, and I'm looking at it on the phone, and I can't even see. I can barely see what he's showing me. Like them, the things all crooked. Anyway, let's get back to the story, man. Let's get back to the story.
For your incidentals in your rooms.
Oh my God!
You will never find no card at the Intercontinental with Gene Deal name on there. None of that. Because I don't care whoever you travel with or whatever you did, they could be paying for the hotel. You
Facts.
always had to put a card up for your incidentals to your room.
Facts.
And we never stayed at the Intercontinental. So people could come up here and be bogus and tell lies and say whatever they want to say for the views, to go viral. It's all right. Just protect your neck. Especially when you come around me.
I'm happy you cleared that up, man. And Tuesday, you was up there, right? When Capricorn testified, right?
When Capricorn testified, man, it was heartfelt not because she was crying and going through all the pain that Cassie and her went through. And because when you heard her testimony, you found out that she really didn't care for Cassie like that. Their friendship grew. You know, they had grown into a friendship that she cared more about Diddy because she even wrote him letters that she had a crush on him back in the day.
Uh-huh.
So it was kind of weird hearing all the stuff she was going through. And in my mind, I was thinking that, you know, and knowing who Diddy was, he probably slept with her too. That's what I was thinking. I don't know that to be true. You understand? But what people didn't understand in her testimony, because just like Dawn, that he would fire her, then she'll come back, or she'll go get another job, and then she'll have to come back, or whatever didn't work about, something like that. People don't understand this, bro. And when you look at the situation with all the people that were employed by Diddy and that was in the music world, it's this old proverb, the golden rule. And what's the golden rule? The man with all the gold make all the rules. Puff was that dude that he held all the gold.
Yeah, yeah.
When she went to work for Mark,
I gotta admit, man, I gotta admit, I don't care what anybody say, man. Puff a bad mother. He a bad mother. Shut your mouth. You talking about that bad dude on the street, man? Hey, even though he doing a lot of stuff and beating up on girls and all this wrong stuff, you know how the people root for the bad guy in the movie? Puff was that bad guy in real life, man. Puffy going down in history, dog. Y'all, I swear to God, y'all don't know what's about to come out in this trial. The last, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna give you 4. I was gonna say 3, but I'm gonna give you 4. I bet you the last 4 people to testify gonna blow your mother mind. Yes, indeed. Somebody gonna be on them tapes. I don't know. I'm hoping this happen. They having S with an animal, and then they gonna admit Puffy gave me these drugs called horse tranquilizer, and I ain't know what I was doing. Only thing I know is I was So he showed the tape, and I ain't want my wife to see the tape. So he showed me the tape, and next thing you know, you said $2 million a year? Let's keep this a secret. Cause I'm making 40, 50 million a year. I can give him 1, 2. Yeah, that's what's about to happen.
Mark Pitts, that was Puff
a bad
Kirk
dude,
Burroughs'
man.
protege. Kirk Burroughs taught him everything he know. He was with Bad Boy first. He was the one who Puff was the one who put him with Big, and he was managing Big.
Yeah.
So when this lady was coming back, and she was in the defense went at her well, you trying to say that he threatened your life, they kidnapped you, they did all these stuff to you, but you still went back to work with him because she probably couldn't go back to work for nobody else until she straightened out with him, or until she made him feel good, until she made him feel like she wasn't an issue when she was a problem. If she was a problem, you know, and they thought that because she came from death row, I think, I don't, it was somewhere like her and Suge had some kind of, I don't know, family relationship or something like that. I don't even know. I didn't get clarity on that, but it was something about Suge Knight and her that they found out, and then stuff started coming up missing as far as jewelry. They took her to like a warehouse, had a guy up there with a polygraph, giving her a polygraph every day. I think they gave her a polygraph like, they think it's 5 times, they said.
Damn, man.
Up in this old abandoned warehouse like. So she was terrified and she was scared and she didn't.
What movie? I must have missed the movie, man. This is a movie. Damn, Puff. Boy, I'm about to be a millionaire. Uncle Mike gonna be a millionaire. Who wanna be in my movie? If anybody look like Puff, they can play the main character. Oh my God.
She didn't want to go, but she had to go.
Shit.
And she put Paul Offord on blast. That's the one they used to call Uncle Paulie. She put him on blast like he was some gangster taking her up there. And if she would have been found, you know, and all the polygraphs came up inconclusive, whatever that shit is. It wasn't conclusive that she did anything.
You ain't gonna give me
regarding
fuck all that, man. My bad. I'm just thinking 5 polygraph tests, man. F you. What type of situation you in where you gonna accept somebody giving you 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, 5 polygraph tests? Negro, I wouldn't even take 5 for a job. F you. I'll be back. And never show up again.
Still in any of the jury or something like that. So
I'm sorry,
it was just
man.
a fear tactic with her. But the defense was trying to say that how could you be scared of him when you went back to work for him? Let me tell you a story, bro. After Big died, Puff put out a whole lot of bullshit about me, telling people don't f with me, don't do this, don't do that, but he couldn't. He couldn't because I was with a strong team. I was with Black Hands and I was with Slick and the Family at the time. I ran all Chaz Williams security to all his parties where we did all over the country. Chaz Williams, he was featured on BET American Gangster. They had said he had robbed about 160 banks or something like that. But Chaz was an OG that everybody respected. I ran all his security. You understand? I was with Chaz, you know, when we used to go to those big industry parties, the whole 9 yards. So there's nothing Puff could do to stop people who was real in the streets from dealing with me. You understand? Slick and the Family. Slick, one of the powerfulest dudes in Harlem that everybody had a lot of respect for. That was my god brother. That's my brother from another mother. There's nothing he could do to smear my name up. So I was still giving parties. I was still doing block parties, giving boat rides, dances, everything. Block parties. There's nothing he could do. So I wasn't dealing with him no more after the Big situation, when Big got murdered. So they start putting all that old negative stuff against me. He started saying little innuendos. And then my man, God bless him, Redbud stepped to him, man. Gene a good dude, man. Y'all stop putting that bullshit out about Gene. Redbud from Brooklyn. Brooklyn. He said, yo, stop putting that shit out about Gene. And they stopped the bullshit. So now, I'm in Atlanta. It's around Super Bowl time. I haven't dealt with Puff about a year. No conversation. He still used to come around the same gang.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? When we used to go to parties, I ain't with him. He's same gang. He's same gang. Okay, cool. So I'm in Atlanta in Justin's. Wolf come over to me and Wolf say, yo, Gene, come to the back. I said, for what? He said, nigga, just come to the back, man. Come on, Gene, stop that bullshit. He said, come to the back, Gene. So I went to the back with Wolf. And Wolf said, yo, Puff, put Gene back to work. Tell Gene he got his job back. He said, Gene, you want your job back? I said, I don't care, man. What's up? He said, meet me in my office on Monday. I went back to work for Bad Boy. Did I need it? Nah. But it was easy money.
Yeah.
It was easy money.
Facts.
Why did I go back? When I heard Capricorn Clark say what she said, I had the same feeling that she had. And I understood where she came from. She wanted, and just like I wanted, to let everybody see that they needed me. I'm back here running the security for him. I'm personally for him. I'm his personal, I'm the number one when he's there. So all the people that they talk crazy to and told this shit about, now they see me. They're gonna put their head down. Because they was acting funny at first. But when I came back, it was something, brother, that you can't make this shit up. It was something whereas that you get this feeling, whereas that, yeah, I showed the MFs. I showed them. So I went back to work too. Not because I had to. I wanted to, because I wanted to show everybody. So I understood what Capricorn Clark was going through. She begged for her job back. I would never do that. But she said she had a kid that was with autism. So she had to take care of a child. And he was making it difficult, and I seen him do Kirk Burroughs like that. He was making it difficult for her to get jobs out there in the industry, in the music industry. And that's what she said she wanted to do. She wanted to be a part of the music industry. So the Capricorn Clark situation, man, it was touching because, you know, how you dragging this woman from her house, you using your bodyguards to take her up in an abandoned building to get a polygraph test.
Like in the movies.
She said that the building doors, somebody opened them from the outside. You had to knock on the door and they got to open it from the outside to let you out. She was terrified. So, and then she was talking about all the abuse with Cassie. What she saw, what Puff did to her, how Puff had a plastic surgeon on speed dial. He had a plastic surgeon on speed dial that he would come, stitch her up, and do all the stuff that he needed to do so she wouldn't scar up after a beating. She had a very touching testimony.
That's heartbreaking to hear, man. And to go back
That's
to what
crazy.
you said earlier, yeah, I mean, she testified that Diddy, you know, accused her of stealing from him. And she testified that he told her that if she failed the polygraph test, he was going to throw her in the East River.
Yeah, that's the only part I didn't say. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that, you know, if you go back and look at it, you know what I'm saying, and they was blaming her for stealing the jury, bruh, he said that And she testified this on the stand that she was gonna throw him in the East River if she'd have failed the lie detector test. Man, come on, bro. If that ain't no gangster shit, if you talking about that ain't racketeering, mob style stuff, you gotta be out your mind, man. You don't run no business like that. That's some mafiosos that he was doing, bro. If you fail a lie detector test, I'm gonna throw you in the East River. Come on, brother. You did that female, you did that woman like that, and then now it comes that she passed it, and they couldn't, they couldn't blame her for it. What do? She's terrified now. How does she get that back? How does she get that back, bro? She don't.
If I'm not mistaken, she brought up Jimmy Iovine in her testimony, right?
Yeah, man. Capricorn Clark brought up Jimmy Iovine, but they did objection. But it got out before they objected that because she told the story, I went over into Interscope and I was threatened. And then she said, Jimmy Iovine. And they said, object. Jimmy Iovine, they did some shit like this. She had something on Diddy, whereas that they paid her $1 million. And Jimmy Iovine threatened her and told her to leave Diddy alone. And it was supposed to be a suit. When you sue somebody, you don't get taxes put on that shit. They gave it to her like it was a regular check and they put taxes on it. So she sued them and got $1 million, but they took $500,000 out of it in taxes. Ain't that some bullshit? They ain't no good, man. And she said Jimmy Iovine threatened her and told her she had to leave Diddy alone. They was doing it to the women like that, bro. But they gave her a check for $1 million, but they gave it to her as it was a payroll check, not a lawsuit. So now she can't come and say she did a settlement with them. It was supposed to be a settlement check. I think Suge Knight said something like that too. That was crazy. But they wouldn't let that come out in the court like that. You understand? They would just say it was a settlement, and they wouldn't say how much money it was, and they would and they try to keep Jimmy Iovine name in there, but he was all up in the sauce, bro. They said objection, sustain. That's what it was. They left his ass out of that one.
She brought up big murder too, right?
Objection. They brought up big murder, and then the lawyers them. I don't understand why the judge didn't let it go no further than that. And it seems like that she was stating that Big's case, or the Big case, is about to be reopened by the feds. And I think the feds had even talked to her and some other people around there about Big's case. So it looked like we might be getting some real justice because they might be opening up Big's case back. And she was speaking on that and about to speak on that, but they did an objection, and whereas that she couldn't talk about it. So it was a lot of objections on her testimony, and they tried to get at her because she went back to work for Diddy. But people do that, man, in this music industry, especially when old boy hold all the gold. He gonna make all the rules. They don't understand the music industry. They don't understand when one person knows everybody and he's done favors for everybody. You understand that they don't know that when you are a Diddy or a Jay-Z and you got to dust off your knee pads because you done took care of everybody, they have a certain kind of power. And they can call people up to not allow you to be in the music business ever again.
Diddy a wild dude if he was moving like that.
Well, that's not only that. Even
That's
with
what I'm saying.
I think his name Dante Nash, one of the stylists. He testified too, brother. That Dante Nash testified, and he was one of the stylists, and he was talking about how how Diddy beat Cassie. He even jumped on Diddy's back, him and that girl Mia, to stop Diddy from beating Cassie.
Facts. That's facts.
You understand? So at least he was one of the individuals you're trying to stop. And he made the testimony that he didn't even want to come. They had to subpoena him to come because he had love for Diddy. But he got on the stand and he told his truth. He told what he saw, what he heard, and what he did. And he tied all that stuff up that people were saying Cassie was jealous and Cassie did this and Cassie did that. No. Diddy was coming after her. And he made that clear to the jury that Diddy was coming after her. It was a lot of situations where Cassie was running from him. And he would use staff to try to find her, then go get her. It was times when Cassie didn't even want to go to the Freakoff. No means no. It was no telling him no. He would tell her, yo, I already spent this money.
Wow.
So you gonna do it. And this is the story that Deontay Nash was telling.
So you gonna do it?
And this was a dude who had love for Diddy, was calling Diddy. Even after him and Cassie broke up and Andre Harrell died, he called him for that. Then who else died? Somebody else died and he called him on that. He was staying in touch with Diddy. Tell him, yo, if you need anything, let me know, brother. Diddy was upset with him. Diddy say, yo, bro, that was foul. You should have told me that she was effing the trainer. And that was Cassie's husband. You understand? You should have told him. So, Diddy felt some kind of way with him on that one. But this dude, he was very convincing to the jury, and he was placing people like D-Rock, I think D-Rock and Paul, in situations whereas that they were using their protection status of Diddy to try to force people or bring people into those type of situations that were unlawful. And that's the Freakoffs. That was buying drugs and holding the drugs and things like that. And that's what's threatening people's lives and stuff. Having people terrified of them. And people got to understand, D-Rock wasn't nothing to play with. Everybody know about the Hot 97 situation where him and Nori and them got into a shootout and the police found 65 rounds. 65 rounds, bro. Out there in front of Hot 97. They used to call it Shot 97. You know what I'm saying? Because all that situation, all that shit that happened out there. So now, you know what I'm saying? They know D-Rock was nothing to play with. And so they were scared, they was terrified. All of them.
So this guy, Deontay Nash, he knew that Cassie was sleeping with the trainer that Diddy hired.
He knew of the relationship and they didn't get into it on when he found out or when did he know, but he was close to Cassie. And he just made the statement that Diddy was upset with him and say, brother, you could have told me that she was effing the trainer, because at the same time that he was paying the trainer to train her, she messing with him, allegedly. But she was through with him. But he was still paying a trainer. Whether it was to train him, Cassie, or whoever, he was still on the payroll.
Damn, and you don't think that's a little messed up?
How's it messed up? So, as a man, he could sleep with Gina, Young Miami, Kim Porter, another chick, whoever the F he want to, and then Cassie supposed to wait on him. Cassie don't supposed to do nothing. Wait on his ass whoopings and his freak-offs.
Damn, you right about that.
You saying that she's supposed to be good for a brother? Damn. How is that messed up?
That ain't messed up. You
for
right.
You young folks, for you young folks, the grannies used to tell us what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You understand? You know what I'm saying? If a man could do it, a woman could do it.
Facts.
So she found her solitude in the trainer. Evidently, he was something positive for her because they went on and got married and they working on their third child, I think. Still getting paid from Diddy. Still spending Diddy money. Good for him. That's what I say. He still like I said, bro. They still spending Diddy money, man. And that's because the stuff that he did, bro. He was doing things like, and this was, I forgot to say this, man, but I want to bring this up to you. Deontay Nash told the jury about Puff threatening Cassie. Like, they was driving off. They was about to drive off. You understand? Leave. And they had the car, the truck, whatever, stop. And he told Cassie that he was going to release the porn tapes that he had of her to the internet. Now, he was taking Cassie's phone and shooting her doing the porn, and he wasn't in it. He was doing shit like that, taking her phone, shooting the porn, her doing the porn with the dude, and she wasn't in it, and then taking it and transferring over to whatever, however y'all do that, copy, paste, whatever, or file this, file that. He was doing that. So he had all the tapes of her and then told her that he gonna send a copy to her mama's job, to her mama, and her mama's job. Your brother is a bitch ass, a band, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna release this to the internet. And Deontay Nash let the jury know that Puff threatened her like that to keep her under siege to do the freak-offs and stuff like that, even though she didn't want to anymore.
How much damage do you think his testimony did to Diddy case?
I think because Deontay Nash, first, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to come. He had to be subpoenaed. And that he was saying how much he still was cool and cared for Diddy, that he cared for Diddy, that his testimony at that point in time was probably one of the most damaging because he had no malice or no problem with Diddy. He just got in there and told his truth and told what he saw and told what he had. And then when the defense tried to go at him, they couldn't break him on nothing. So him showing where the RICO come in at by the threats, by the criminal enterprise, holding things over there, using bodyguards, using other people, paying stuff with the bad boy money. That was a damaging testimony. I think his was probably, at this time, was probably one of the most damaging that I heard at that point.
It seems like Puffy security was allowing him to beat Cassie, and they wasn't doing anything, like D-Rock.
That's because Diddy security was allowing it because you got a bunch of street niggas. Puff, when he was back in New York, he had about 5 or 6 officers. If you ask any one of those officers who worked for Puff, whether they were correction, whether they were NYPD, or myself, state parole, they'll tell you Puff never did no stupid shit around them. Because people wasn't going to lose their pensions and lose their jobs. They are mandated reporters. Now, when you get niggas from the street that need that job, they're going to allow him to do whatever he want to do. Because he could fire them in a minute, and the only job they will be getting, they won't be in the music industry. They'll be at a club or something. So I'm telling you this to say this, man, that because he had dudes from the streets, Paul, D-Rock, Roger Barnes, it's only so much they're going to do when he doing crazy shit to people. They're not going to grab him up and say, man, what the fuck is you doing? I ain't losing my job over this bullshit. Chill the fuck out. They're not going to do that because they depend on that. That's their source of income. That's their livelihood. He holds them in the palm of the hand. Puff them asked me, yo, Gene, Puff, won't you just retire? Because you can, after you get your tenure, you can retire with your gun and just bank your retirement. He told me, yo, we're going to give you $75,000, bro, a year. Quit your job. Man, you out your rabbit ass mind. I ain't working for no $75,000 a year. And I'm making way more than that just freelancing and having them on the weekend. What I look like? It's 52 weeks out the year. Ain't it about 52 weeks out the year?
He said, ain't it about?
I got them every weekend.
Gene said, ain't it about 52 weeks in a year? Yeah, I think it's about that many. Yeah, I think you're right. It's about that many, yeah. Yeah, Gene, it's about that many, 52 weeks. Oh my God.
It's 52 weeks out the year. Ain't it about 52 weeks out the year?
I think that's all of them.
I got them every weekend.
That's my dog. I was just messing with him. He
it didn't add up.
You got that right.
The $75,000 a year didn't add up.
Damn.
So, nah, I wasn't doing that. Like it was some security that helped Cassie before when Bad Boy security just watched Puff beating her. Other security intervened. They should have been pulling Puff off of her. Because you don't want him to be seen like that in public.
Definitely not. But it seems like the only woman that Diddy was doing these freak-offs with was with Cassie. Why do you think that is?
Bruh, I come to find out that, and people gonna think this is weird. Cassie was a die-hard Tupac fan. Cassie loved her some Tupac. Now, she was too young, really, and I don't understand, but somebody close told me that she was a die-hard Tupac fan. And because I believe that Puff may have found that out or known that, he put that against that girl.
Facts. My bad,
and he
y'all.
treated her like that because, one, he thought he could get away with it, and two, she had love for Pac. I really believe that. And I know people gonna be like, yo, Gene, that's crazy. Yo. Kim Porter loved Pac too.
Damn.
Sarah Chapman loved Pac too. And then I don't understand why he didn't do Sarah like that. But Sarah was a very, very smart girl. She was highly intelligent. So I know he believed that he probably couldn't have got away with doing shit like that with Sarah. You understand? He couldn't do that to Sarah and get away with it. Rough her up a little bit, nah, but to beat her and do the freak-offs like that, nah, I don't believe he could do Sarah like that. But you know, she dated Tupac before him. So I believe that she did that with Cassie, not only because he knew he could get away with it, and I think it has something to do with that he didn't like the fact that she liked Tupac. And that's crazy. It's crazy he didn't believe that and even think that. But that was brought to my attention. Because you know, and everybody know, and then Kirk Burrows' lawsuit he states how obsessed Puff was with Tupac. Taking people budgets and buying shirts and Versace shirts that Tupac had on. Every girl, every woman that he dated, he was trying to date or did date. At his Grammy speech, said the same words that Tupac had said out of his mouth before. And I just believe his obsession, and he was probably just as obsessed with Pac, probably more than as much as Cassie liked him. His obsession with Pac, and knowing that she loved Pac, even though she was too young to even know. But she had a love for his music. Just like a lot of people that's young now today, got a love for Pac and big music, and they wasn't even around at the time, at the height of their music, at the height of their careers. I believe they hated Pac that much to take it out on that little girl. And that sounds crazy.
Damn.
It even sounds crazy me saying it.
Right. And I know Capricorn, she testified, right, that, you know, Diddy told her that he'll kill her after he found out that she used to work for Suge Knight.
Well, I think it came up to the point where it's that he took her, Paul and him, took her for a walk in the park. Oh, man. They be watching too many movies. They took her to a walk in the park, and they was trying to get some clarity on her relationship with Suge. And that whether she a spy for him or whether she was would turn over any kind of information. And I think if I'm correct, that she had said that Puff was worried about her relationship with Suge and made some kind of accusations to her that if they find out that her and Suge is a certain way, that they would unalive her in some kind of way. That wasn't clear in the court because there was a lot of objections on that. You understand? But I think the judge may have let that ride because of the fact that she was telling her what she heard and her feelings and how they made her feel. So they was worried about Suge, bro. They was worried about Suge. Well, since you brought up Suge name, and I heard a couple of interviews where Suge brought up my name. See, I'm not gonna batter Suge because Suge is in a bad place. You understand? Suge is in a situation whereas that he was a man that had everything in the palm of his hand.
Too fast.
You understand? He had cars, houses, could fly, jet set all over the country, all over the world. And he had everything in the palm of his hand. And now he only got Miss Palmer in the palm of his hands. And I'm saying this to say this, bro. I'm not here to bash that brother, but he's getting some felonious and some effed up information that's not true. I don't believe Suge should be in jail for what he did. You understand? Because it was clearly, you could see somebody was coming at Suge with a gun. And the law states here in New York, if somebody is attacking you and you gotta flee, and somebody gets hurt in the interim of you fleeing, whether it's in your car, your bike, or whatever the situation is, that individual who has that gun that's trying to shoot you, and you end up running over a pedestrian or doing something like that, that's his case. That's that dude who did that to you. He gets that murder. And that's what it seemed like to me. He didn't get the proper justice when it came to that.
Hold up. So you mean to tell me, Gene, because you know better, you was there, I wasn't there. I'm just going by what I heard from the grapevine, like a YouTuber, right? So you telling me that when this guy ran over the person with the car, he was trying to save his own life and get away from somebody. So if somebody's trying to shoot me or kill me, and I jump in my car and I'm trying to flee, and I run over somebody and kill him, then that person that died, it's because of this person that was chasing me, trying to kill me. He take that rap. Is that what you telling me? It sound like a good thing, but I ain't hear all that in Suge's case. Maybe y'all did. Y'all let me know in the comments, man. I mean, I'm open for anything. I'm open for it, man, because I thought he got mad at the dude and said, F you, I'm going to run you over. That's what I thought happened.
That's what it seemed like to me. He didn't get the proper justice when it came to that. If you look at Suge Knight, everything that he did, God always punished him right then. Here, my son. Oh, you did that? Take care of that. Hear that? Go sit here. Go do that. God always punished him right there. It was different for Puff. I'm not here to batter Suge, because God made sure that he paid for his right then and there when he did it. He did Puff in a whole different way. You understand? Before I break that down to you is this. I heard Puff say, I don't give a fuck if Pac gotta die. I don't give a fuck if Big gotta die.
But somebody got
Suge
to go.
Knight can go to jail. I'm going to say this for the umpteenth time. That was a self-fulfilling prophecy that this demon got from some other demons, because it happened exactly what he said. What he said happened exactly the way it came out of his mouth. Pac died, Big died, Suge Knight went to jail. Now, Puff, God did him in a whole different way, brother. He let him go home without being punished for the city college, for if he played a part of Big, if he, the kids that died in D.C., what else? Some other stuff. He didn't let him play the part. He getting all his right now in one whop, in one setting. Suge, brother, you're wrong. I did not know Reggie Wright until my man in Detroit gave me a call. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was a podcaster too. He gave me a call and he said, yo, Big Gene, I want to introduce you to Reggie Wright. And I don't know if Reggie was on the phone knew I was on the phone, but Reggie had said some shit that I overheard him say. And it was about the Notorious Big. He said they should have killed that fat motherfucker. So now,
damn,
when I heard him say that, I'm standoffish on him now. And I'm gonna tell you the dude named it. Yo, you can be mad if you want to. Rel made the introduction to me and Reggie. And that was like, I think 3-4 years ago. I didn't know Reggie from a can of motherfucking paint. I never called anybody from Death Row to his security. That wasn't my job. I was Puff's personal bodyguard. I didn't call to get no security for nobody. When I went to work, I had my own contract, brother. I ain't called nobody to do nothing. So you wrong, and the information that you getting and the people that's feeding you that, check out them band boys. Because they lying to you, brother. I don't think as one man to the next, and I got a lot of respect for you, Suge. I got so much respect for you, bro, because when this East Coast, West Coast war could have been shut down, Pac was living, Big was living, Eric B, Big D, y'all set up there and y'all was gonna set up a meeting. Everybody who had something to do with it was supposed to show up. And Puff refused to. You didn't, brother. You wanted this shit to be over with. Even though you didn't fuck with Puff, y'all wasn't dealing with each other no more. I remember when you and Pac was in the car behind the House of Blues. You was in the red Rolls Royce, Pac was in the white one. I was in the car when Puff rolled up on you and said, yo, Suge, we got any problems down here? And you said, bro, I don't know any problems you got. That was even after Jake was murdered. You said, brother, I don't know any problems you got.
We ain't got no problems.
But brother, yeah, you said Gene Deal name, but you had the wrong person. The people that hired security for Bad Boy was Paul Alford, bro. Paul, Uncle Paulie. You put my name out there. So if anybody called Reggie and had a relationship with him on the security tip, it was Paul, bro. It wasn't me. I never, ever hired no one to do security for Bad Boy. I had my own contract with Puff. Point blank. Nothing more, nothing less. So, bro, get your information right, bro. And watch where you get your information from.
Okay.
Because there's a bunch of hater sucker ass niggas out here. And that's real talk.
If I'm not mistaken, a woman named Mia, she testified against Diddy, right?
Well, Mia was another way of saying missing in action. That was the prosecution giving her that name. Mia. They did not want you to know her identity. She came in there looking like a mess. She couldn't hardly go through the interview because of she was upset. She was messed up. You know, we got people in court that's giving that information up. Mia testimony was just like if you take Devontae Nash and Capricorn, she put it all together, but her was treacherous. She knew everything. She knew all about the drugs, the money, the beating of Cassie, D-Rock involvement, and what he used to do. But the thing that was so crazy about it is that she said that Puff used to rip her repeatedly, damn near anytime he wanted to, all the time. Like several times she was raped by him. It seemed like she had the jury crying. She was raped by Puff, bruh. Now, what I know that in some states, they do rape just like they do murder.
Damn.
In New York City, because in the States, you got to realize the time that you could be charged with rape in most states is from 3 to 30 years. But there are 13 states that do the rape case just like it's murder. That there's no time limit on when you say or you come out and say somebody raped you. You understand what I'm saying? And New York State is one of them. So I was wondering, did she ever get raped in New York? Because if she did by Puff, the state could bring up that charges against him. That could be brought up against him. So now, this girl, the prosecution went through every step with her, and it was difficult because you could see the pain in her. You could see that she was scared. And it was some real emotional shit, bro, for people. That was, I don't know if they're gonna ever get this out. I don't know if they can ever put that out because I know that federal cases, even though it's taped by the feds, they don't release it. But if her testimony was ever released to the public, everybody would need tissue. Because for her to work for somebody and say that they will repeatedly rape her, that's crazy, bro. I was talking with Miss Pleasant, and she was saying that the jury was looking at Diddy like he was a monster. All the ones who really, and they were saying that you could tell like 3 or 4 jurors was on Diddy's side, but after that Mia testimony, they ain't had no, they ain't had no love for him. I'm telling you, bro, this is not gonna go the whole 6 weeks. The prosecution's talking about that they cut it out from 8 to 6, and they say they might be sooner than that. After that Mia testimony, and they got more. They got more that's coming, bro.
Bro.
Because
told you.
I look at it like this. They put Paul and D-Rock into too much stuff that was going on. So either if they're not going to be charged as co-conspirators, they're going to be charged. If they're not going to be charged with co-conspirators, they're going to have to come and testify and be given some kind of immunity. Because if you kidnap and hold somebody hostage, and Mia was hold hostage too at places. She testified to that too. So now, hold against her will, made to work 30, 40 hours. It's 24 hours in a day. She working 30, 40 hours straight. Yo, but she was held against her will on certain places and certain things. So if she mentioned D-Rock and Paul played a part of that stuff, that means the feds got to bring them in either as co-conspirators or give them some kind of immunity for their testimony. They want Puff, bruh. But then they want Puff. And what Mia did was, just like a couple other people, they brought in Combs Global and Bad Boy Entertainment as being one. And by them doing, and them being employees, and the employees was made to do crimes for the satisfaction of Puff, paying prostitutes, buying drugs. Now, that's where all the RICO and the racketeering come in at. And Those people that testified this week and some of last week show how the prosecution is slowly building the case so the jury could see that that's what was going on. Next week gonna be a doozy.
Yeah, she testified that she suffered from PTSD because of Puffy.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he? Somebody raped her, bruh. And they want to know she still continued to work for him. Some victims still, you know, like I tell you, man, like, I guess that's the defense. They have to come in like that. But they know about the Stockholm theory where captors and kidnappers and people still deal with, they fall in love or they got love for the people who do them bad. This man held all the gold and he made all the rules. The golden rule, bruh. And that's the problem. That's the situation, that's the issue. And that's what we're dealing with.
And if I'm not mistaken, she testified about a situation that happened at Prince Club, right?
Oh, Mia and Cassie, they had an invite to Prince party. And they went over there and somebody told Diddy that they were at the party because he wasn't even supposed to go, I don't think. That's what they were saying. They was wondering how he knew. So he went in there because he had been looking for Cassie and she had been staying in hotels, different places. She was dodging him. So when they found out he was there, I think she ran out the side of the back door. Puff chased her and tackled her into some bushes.
Damn, Puff.
Prince security, and his security was with him, watching him. Prince security ran out there and got him off of Cassie and safeguarded her. That's crazy. Prince security had to stop Puff from beating that girl.
That's crazy, man. I wonder if it got back to Prince.
It probably did. There was a lot of stuff that
he knew what they gonna
got on the
not say
internet that
nothing.
saying Prince did this and Prince did that, but that never came out in the court. It just came out that his security stopped Puff from assaulting Cassie.
She also testified that while she was sleeping, Cassie ran in her room screaming that Diddy was about to kill her.
She testified that several times that Cassie was like, she'll be in the next room, but she couldn't really hear it. She could hear it, but she wouldn't know who was in the next room. And then Diddy would walk out. And then Cassie would walk out and she'll have a black eye. So the defense would try to say, well, how you know he did it? Who, the black eye bandit did it, motherfucker? He did it. But that's the defense. They have to protect their client.
That's crazy.
It was like that, bro.
Yeah, she said that somebody told her that she'll be killed if she came out exposing Diddy.
Well, that was a whole part of the whole part that she had D-Rock and some other people try to bribe her. And that's where the racketeering come in at. And the extortion and the racketeering. So that's why people who say that where's the racketeering, where's the what's the other thing? The criminal enterprise. When you taking your bodyguards and you taking people that work for you and you using them to commit crimes with your business, That's criminal enterprising. Extortion is against the law. This lady testified that she was being extorted. You understand? They was trying to pay her off, never to come out against Diddy with Cassie.
Crazy, man. And she also testified that her knowing Diddy would get her out of speeding tickets. She told a story about how she called Diddy on speaker and the police let her go.
You got to realize one officer testified that Diddy had moles in the LAPD. He was paying officers in the LAPD who was actually sometimes doing security for him, but they would let him know, or if one of his kids or anybody had a problem, stuff like that, because he was who he was paying them off. And one of the officers got on the stand, and one of the detectives or thing like that, and I think he made that clear, and they tried to object to that stuff like that, but that's what it was. So that's how they could get out of speeding tickets and everything like that, because he had people who was working inside of LAPD.
And she did testify that she was in charge of the Freakoffs, cleaning up and setting up the Freakoffs.
A lot of them was. All the personal assistants, he had 3 or 4 personal assistants. With all that freaking off, he needed more than one personal assistant. So they had a personal assistant, a chief assistant, and some other kind of assistant. And all of them was responsible for making sure that those hotel rooms in the Freakoffs was cleaned up. It's no coming back from this, bro. This shit is ugly. It's ugly, it's nasty, and to know that somebody would do somebody else's child the way he was doing them, you understand? I don't see how people could say, oh, they knew what they was getting themselves into. I don't know if people ever understood when certain people, that's their livelihood and all they want to do is go to work, but somebody else make it difficult and ugly for them to come to work, and they have to go to work because they want to take care of their kids, they want to take care of their family, and they end up doing dumb shit like that.
One last thing she testified about. She said that it was candle wax everywhere, broken glasses everywhere, and period blood everywhere.
Well, we know in the testimony of Cassie that sometimes she was made to do stuff on her period. So when they had to clean up that stuff, they had to clean it up because the hotel was charged. The hotel manager said that they were charging Diddy anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for the cleanup. Even after they cleaned it up, it still had to be cleaned up by the hotel manager because they didn't clean it up good enough.
They ain't cleaning it up good enough.
They were just getting out a lot of stuff that they didn't want the people to see, the drug paraphernalia, all the alcohol and liquor and stuff like that. So they wasn't really doing a deep cleaning. Every hotel room afterwards needed a deep cleaning. And this is something that came out.
Damn.
Right? In the testimony that there were people doing freak-offs and Diddy wasn't even there sometimes. Who they was doing freak-offs with, they didn't say. But the freak-offs, and this has come out from he didn't say freak-offs, he said they was using the room and sometimes Diddy wasn't there. But when Diddy wasn't there, they would have to get special permission from somebody and get stuff signed out by KK. Whoever KK is, she had to sign off for the freak-offs, even when Diddy wasn't there. So now that's what the prosecution may be bringing up. And the next thing, whereas that KK was setting up other freak-offs to happen under the bad boy umbrella, and they were paying for it.
Gene Deal, my guy, man. Great interview, week 3. Before we end it, man, the floor is yours, man. Anything you want to address, shout out, go for it, man.
Hell, I just want to address to these younger YouTubers and the podcasters and stuff like that, man. Yo, keep this professional, bro. Keep it whereas that, you know, people don't mind, you know, being out here and coming to your show. Keep it whereas that you don't bring the streets into the YouTube. We see how it did and what the streets did to rap music.
Damn.
Now,
Damn it,
we made
man.
another form of entertainment that helps some of y'all pay bills
Facts.
and giving people an avenue.
Facts.
So my brothers, my sisters, try to keep it professional.
Try. Ain't no try.
Whereas that people don't mind coming to your show and enjoying the content that you got to put up. Remember, go get those books on Amazon. Gene Deal, My World of Bodyguard and a Hip Hop Star, and Gene Deal, Life After Death from Bodyguard and a Hip Hop Star. And that bourbon will be in the liquor stores real soon.
Facts.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All the dialogue, keep on doing y'all thing, and I'll be right here with you.
No doubt, man. Gene Deal, man. I think he a cool brother, man. I think he down to earth. I don't think he out to hurt nobody. I don't think he is just talking just to be talking. You know, I mean, him and the other bodyguards, they all talking bad. They all talking against Diddy. It ain't bad. I mean, if you're talking against Diddy, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm trying to say. He not saying nothing bad. He just telling the truth. And that's what I think, man. Hey, Uncle Mike gonna get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him, Uncle Mike, told you so. Peace out. Y'all check out the video. First of all, let me know if you're into, and y'all check out the video of Uncle Mike going to New York. It's gonna be a part 2 coming, and we got to do a part 3 now. Peace out.